Hey guys, it's Derek. Today I'm going to take you along as I tap some maple trees. This is something that's very simple to do. You could do it very cheaply. You don't have to have that many trees to get maple syrup. It does take a lot of sap to produce a gallon of syrup, but the average family doesn't need a whole gallon of syrup. It takes 40 gallons of tree sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. That's a lot you have to boil out. It's a lot that you have to store. The way I do it, I'm going to show you the way I do it. But the way I do it is I have several brute force garbage cans, which are made out of food grade plastic. Everything I use is food grade. It's either metal or food grade plastic, because you are going to eat this. So you don't want to get any kind of chemicals into your maple syrup. You don't need a lot of tools. It's just very, very basic. All you need is a hammer, a drill, and a drill bit that'll fit the size tap that you're using. I'm using 5/16 plastic taps. I also have 7/16 spiles that I'll show you that as well. That use the galvanized bucket. I don't have a whole lot of galvanized buckets because they're expensive. It's much cheaper to get. You can use milk cartons. I use apple juice containers, orange juice containers, and you just drill holes in the lids and put your spout through it and set it right on the ground and drill and tap the tree. It's great. You're literally taking something from nothing and turning it into something you could actually sell if you wanted to, which I do. I do sell some of it. My goal is just to sell enough to where it pays for everything that I use. When I boil it, I'll use firewood to boil it. I have a homemade boiler that I built. I'll show you that when the time comes to boil. But for right now, we're just tapping the trees, and then we're going to collect the sap every day, several times a day. The best time to tap a maple tree is early spring, very early. We're at the end of February, mid-February here. The best time to tap is when the temperatures are above freezing during the day and below freezing at night, because the barometric pressures help to pump the tree sap out of the ground and up into the tree branches, and then we're going to be taking it out of the tree trunk. The best trees to tap are sugar maples. You could tap any kind of maple, you'll get sap out of it. The sugar maples have the highest sugar content, so you don't have to boil it as much. I'll show you some pictures of the sugar maple leaves are underneath the tree right now. But the best time to do it is usually in the summertime. I'll go around if I'm not sure of a tree. I'll mark it, then make sure so I know it's a sugar maple or at least a maple tree. But some people also tap birch trees, so you could do that as well. You get birch syrup. I've never done that. I don't have any birch around here. I would try it, but I don't have any. Let's go tap some trees. I'll show you how to do it. Alright, so when you're tapping a maple tree, you want to drill at a slight upward angle. Not a lot, just enough so it helps the sap to drain out of the tree. And you want to try to avoid holes. If you did it last year, you want to try to avoid those holes. You want to be above or below or left to right about 6 inches, because the sap won't flow there as well as it will a fresh hole. And you only want to go in about an inch and a half into the tree. Smaller trees you won't have to go in as far as the longer ones, the larger ones, because the older they are, the more thicker the bark is. You want to clear out that hole as best you can. You want to get as much sap out of this as you can. And there you go. I don't know how well you can see that, but the sap's running pretty good today. It's the end of February. Today happens to be almost 60 degrees. That's why I picked to do it today. Gorgeous out. Alright, so it's been about an hour and a half since I tapped the trees. Let's see how much we've got in here so far today. Some days the sap runs better than others. Some days you'll get overflowing buckets and some days you won't get hardly anything. There we go, that's about 1.5 gallons. And typically when you tap a maple tree, you want it to be a minimum of 8 inches around. My trees are very old, very mature trees. This one's probably close to 4 feet around, so I could put a lot of, this one has 6 taps in it, 7 taps in it, and it won't hurt the tree at all. It looks like you're bleeding the tree dry. You're not. It's getting plenty of sap. Like I said, we're only drilling about 1.5 inches into the tree. So there's still plenty of sap going up through the tree. Look at this. We literally tapped this tree about 1.5 hours ago. That bottle's completely full. That one's 3/4. This one's 3/4. And that one's completely full. This is what I mean. You get something from absolutely nothing. All it takes is a little bit of your time. And look, we got half a bucket full, almost 5 gallons already. And you can sell this. You can give it away as presents. Everybody likes maple syrup. You have to get some bigger containers. There we go, we got 5 gallons out of 2 trees in 1.5 hours. And here's the can that I stored, and this is I believe this is a 50 gallon or 60 gallon brute force garbage can. Like I said, they are food grade plastic. I wouldn't use anything else. Don't worry about the little bit of debris and stuff that's in there. There's a little bit of plastic in there, some wood shavings. Don't worry about it. It all gets filtered out. I'm gonna filter it before I boil it, and I'm gonna filter it again after I boil it. So you're gonna get little things, and you're gonna get little bugs in there when it warms up a little more. Don't worry about it. Just store it up. When the time comes to boil it, we're gonna run it through a towel. We'll filter it out. And the tree sap's gonna begin to run the beginning of February, or at the end of February, beginning of March, which is pretty much right where we are right now. It's February 18th today, and it'll run right through April. You can leave the taps in until you stop getting sap, or you can take them out when you get enough sap that you don't need any more syrup for the year. And if you do have a tree that you want to tap on your property, as long as it's 8 inches, you can tap it. 8 inches around. You can tap that tree, and that tree will give you about a gallon of syrup. So it'll give you about 40 gallons of sap. Some people boil it down every day. I don't do that. I store it up, and I'll take one whole day. I'll start early in the morning and I'll boil the whole lot of it down. And that's just the way I do it. That's the way I like to do it. It takes too long in the house. So I do most of it outside, and when it's almost finished, I bring it inside and finish it on the stove. I think that pretty much covers everything with just tapping the maple trees. So once we get enough stored up, and we're going to start boiling it, we'll show you that. I'll probably collect it one more time tonight before I go to bed, and yeah, we'll do it a couple more times tomorrow. We'll see how much we've got, and by the end of the weekend, we'll probably have that one can probably halfway full, if not more, by the end of the weekend. And just an update on the Scarecrow. Works awesome. I haven't even had to move it. The hawks don't come around anymore. I'm probably gonna move it next weekend because I'm off next weekend. But I am working tomorrow, so we'll see how much I can get done tomorrow. But yeah, the Scarecrow works great. I have not had any more problems with hawks. So if you guys are having problems with hawks, I would highly recommend putting up a Scarecrow, because I haven't seen one around since I put them up. So we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks.